Said you use plus to keep all eyes on you. Now you pissed, cause one nigga fucked your bitch. Came out bragging about how you done snitched. Leaders bring followers to their level, yet you chose to cut a dirty deal with the devil. When you wrote. Yeah, guys, what is up? Another day. Big news. Redfin Chomps. Rentpath. Let me bring in the panel. This is the Ragman. This is another Ranks to Riches show. I got Timmy.
Hi, Alvin. Hi, Chris.
Coming all the way from Serbia. I got Chris. Say hi to the people.
Hi, Alvin. Hi, Timmy. How are you?
All right. So, let's get to it. So, Timmy, let's hear the story. What's going on with Redfin?
Okay. So, Redfin will pay $608 million to acquire Rentpath, owner of Rentals.com, Rent.com, and Apartment Guide.
Okay, wow. Big numbers, huh? Well, look, we saw what just happened with ZILLOW, right? ZILLOW just purchased, SHOWINGTIME. Redfin's a big competitor. So what are these tech companies up to? What do you think they're up to, Timmy?
Okay, so I think they want to like get more customers on their platform, right? So it's obvious that they want to have more thing online, and they want to go in that, not just in depth, they have only now sales, so they want also to have rentals as well. So this website has a lot of potentials. In the press release, let me share my screen so we can see also the press release in Redfin.
Let's see that.
Mm-hmm.
So this is from who's this from? Okay.
It is directly from the Redfin Investor Relations, so their press release.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so we can see the numbers, right?
Well,
so
yeah,
if you
read it off for the people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Redfin announces agreement to acquire Rentpath for $608 million. So they just announced today, February 19, 2021. Acquisitions brings together a leading site for home buying with a leading site for rentals listing.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to connect the home buying and the rentals as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they have more websites, the apartmentguide.com, rent.com, and the rentals.com.
So, what are your thoughts, Chris? I mean, why would they pay such a significant number for this platform? I mean, does it enhance their network effects? What's going on? Why is it just to get the rent.com domain? I mean, why such a big number for this?
Well, considering we had the news last week, was it, with ZILLOW buying SHOWINGTIME?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a tech. I mean, it's a technology, because they want to have rental, as Timmy said, they want to get into rental, but in a strong way. They don't want to start doing something something that they already have in terms of rental on their own, maybe websites and so on, or apps.
Well, I guess there's. Yeah, go ahead.
So, I mean, we're seeing. I don't know. I don't know about the competition. We're seeing everyone these last days merging or something. Buying up stuff.
Yeah,
merging.
there are big acquisitions happening. Yeah.
So unite and conquer. It's the new saying.
Right. We'll merge and in fact, isn't there a story, Timmy? Correct me if I'm wrong. You were saying that another group was trying to CoStar. You have that story? CoStar was trying to purchase it, but the deal fell through, and then Redfin paid a lot more for it. What happened over there? What happened with that situation? If you want to bring it up to the screen.
Mm-hmm. Let me share the screen.
And and while you're pulling that up, I want to discuss, because I think I want to go back to the Zillow situation, because these tech companies encroaching more and more on the real estate agents' land. Let's say, let me pull this up. Things are getting more desperate. They're going to start squeezing agents a little bit more. I mean, and agents aren't really paying attention. Zillow's made a ton of acquisitions that should really frighten agents, and now Redfin
see
doing the same
here.
thing.
So CoStar Group Inc. was blocked by federal antitrust regulators.
Mm-hmm. What was the
It
reason?
was last year. It was last year in February 2020.
What was the reason they blocked them? What became the reason?
It's because of the monopoly. Let's see more about CoStar.
Okay, so I see it says RedPath is subject to antitrust approval by the Federal Trade Commission and a bankruptcy judge. Wait, a bankruptcy judge? Was Redfin in bankruptcy? If you could check that out to me, just Google that and see what was going on with RedPath. It says bankruptcy judge. Was RedPath in bankruptcy? What does it say? If you can pull that up, you find anything on it. While you're doing that, while you guys doing that, I know that you guys are, in different countries, and over here in the U.S., Texas is going through a hell of a time. Texas just had several days of like really bad weather, and my heart goes out to the people in Texas. And then last night, I turned on the TV, and I found out that while everybody was suffering, like people with no water, people with no heat, they can't get through the snow. A lot of people are dying. Their senator, TEDCRUZ, decides to hop on a plane and go to Cancun, Mexico. And then when he was found out, people started taking pictures. He pretends to turn around and come back to Texas and then he blames it on his daughter. What leadership, man? What leadership, right? Come on, Texas. You can do better than that, So what did you find, Timmy? Were you able to find that story? Anything? What's going on with that RedPath and bankruptcy? Okay, share that.
Not sure. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, great. So just it's not showing the entire article. So this is Law 360. This is from February 19, 2021. Redfin Corporation will pay $608 million for bankrupt online property marketing company Rentpath Holdings Inc. The company said Friday in an agreement that comes only a few months after CoStar Group's attempt REDPATH acquisition fell apart over federal competition concerns.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So I didn't even know these guys were in bankruptcy. I mean, wow, that is huge. Holy.
All right.
It's not showing the entire list.
So the funny thing is, it's actually sold for less than probably it was worth. If it was sold at a bankruptcy, that is something.
Yeah, I think CoStar offered less. It was 500 something million last year, beginning of last year.
Interesting. So look, here's my take on this, right? So I think that Redfin sees Zillow as a competitor, and they're going to probably go through a bunch of acquisitions now. It's probably going to be acquisition game on as they both try to compete, So They're trying to, what realtors don't understand is that um, the guy who founded Zillow, right, Richard Burton, he's the same guy that founded Expedia, and Expedia single-handedly put the travel agents out of business, right? And so now he's thinking, okay, I'll do the same to real estate agents. And Redfin, they're not even hiding, like that's what they're trying to do. I mean, they try to charge a 1% commission. Well, the average agent charges 5 and 6%. So Redfin is using their investors' money to subsidize these low commissions because obviously, if that was such a great idea, there were so many discount brokers who's literally the graveyards of real estate brokerages. I mean, there's so many of those guys that went out of business. Obviously, that model doesn't work that well, right? Unless it's a well-oiled machine. But somebody's trying to crack the code. One of them is going to probably, one or two of them are going to be competing. I'm not saying they're going to win. Of course, Smart, we have our own digital platform that we're building, and we hope to be a competitor, or we will be a competitor as well.
And what do you think, Alvin? Does this big acquisition will affect on the small brokerages in US?
So for the rent.com, that wasn't really to me a big player in the rent space. I still think the biggest player in the rent space to me, honestly, was Craigslist, right? Because most people still advertise their listings on their rentals on Craigslist, and then some do agents, especially like in New York City and a lot of the gateway cities. A lot of real estate agents kind of corner that market, especially with the high end rentals. The lower end rentals, there's a lot of mom and pops, property managers and stuff like that kind of do their own rentals. It's not as controlled as the real estate, selling real estate, right? Because even though you might get into some problems if you're unlicensed and try to rent properties for people, it wasn't that really tightly regulated, right? So what would happen is the landlord would say, well, this person works for me and they're out there trying to get tenants for me. So, right? But if you're selling a house, is a lot different, right? More regulated. So this could be the reason why Rent.com didn't do as well as went bankrupt. I mean, that's insane. Chris, any thoughts on that? Go.
Yeah, apparently it's not a new company. It's like since 1989, Rentpath.
Really?
Yeah. So it was like a head in internet rents and so on, and went well until 2018, and then in 2018 they had like a revenue of 259 million. Okay, and then the losses slowly began to kick in because of the competition, right?
Yeah.
So
from which year?
Pardon?
From which year?
2019.
I got it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
apparently, yeah.
It doesn't look like they switched up the game any, because I was on the site, today, and I mean, to me, Tim, if you could pull up the site, and I'll put it on the screen. It looked like it was just kind of for almost like a directory or like a listing for rentals. It wasn't that dynamic, and that's why I'm like,
Which website? Sorry, Alvin, which website?
The
Let me
rent.com.
pull up.
The rent.com. Yeah, if
Uh-huh.
you pull that up. It didn't look really that dynamic to me. It's just, I mean, our app has rentals on it. I guess they have like other rentals, and maybe they're monetized by landlords showing. I'm not sure how they did it. Let's pull up.
Okay, let's see their website.
I see here, right? Standard and Poor's identified Rentpath's largest competitor as a CoStar group.
Okay. So the CoStar wanted the monopoly. Let's search.
Yeah,
And-
not yet, but they would be if they would acquire them. So that's the reason why they couldn't acquire them last year, all right?
Well, let's see what.
But now they become the biggest competition because of that.
Well, yeah. Well,
Rentpath lowered its subscription packages,
okay.
right, and increased marketing spending in response to CoStar's much larger marketing budget.
Okay.
So, very interesting. What the fact that they had a bigger budget,
yeah,
and RedPath tried to follow, basically.
Just click, Timmy. Just click search. Let's see what type of properties they got.
Okay, let's say something in New York. Let's say, all right.
So it looked like it could have been a loss leader type situation, where basically CoStar undercut them and forced them to lower their prices. But we'd have to know more about that to see if that was what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have a lot of rentals on it. Okay, so they went around and so I think the beauty of them is they got a lot of buildings, see? So they got a lot of building owners to advertise, and I think that's one of the reasons why it was worth that amount of money, right? Because obviously if you have to go and sign up all these buildings with their rentals from scratch, that would take a lot of manpower and to try to build those network effects. So I think that could be the reason why Redfin just said, hey, let me just give you the $600 million and call it a day, right? Because they acquired them right away. So anyway, look, it is what it is. I'm not sure that really puts a hurt in on realtors. I think realtors got to be more worried about the Zillow acquisitions more than this acquisition, So, Timmy, I want to move on.
I mean, this acquisition also will take some time. Like, it's quite long process. I was also working on acquisitions in Serbia. So, according to the news, it will be like somewhere the end of 2022.
Wow, just complete.
Right? So, yeah, because they just signed the agreement now.
Wonder why they announced it now. Anyway, so what else we got in the story? I know that let's go to that Gary Keller story. Gary Keller. Just Google Gary Keller and Zillow and Showtime. I think I was telling you about that story. I don't know if you queued it up, but basically he was saying the fight's on.
Yeah, Zillow's Gary Keller. This is a fight, and there is no way around it.
Let me show me that screen. Is that the?
Yeah, I'm sharing. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, let me bring it up.
Okay.
All right. Just go ahead and read it out for us, and let's hear what it's all about.
Okay, so the founder of Keller Williams said that Keller Williams family reunion that realtors would determine the fate of the industry with their dollar spendings. Realtors are trying to determine the fate of the industry with their dollar spending. Gary Keller, executive chairman Keller Williams, parent company Keller Williams said on Tuesday during a virtual family reunion event.
Okay.
History, people in your business have never voted on the future of the industry, Keller said. Jason Abraham with Keller Williams, Vice President of Industry, Jay Papasan, Keller Williams, Vice President of Learning. If you write a check on Zillow, you are voting for the word of Zillow, says Keller. If you're writing a check on Keller Williams, you will vote for the word of Keller Williams.
So I guess Keller Williams is positioning himself they're trying to be the anti-Zillow. But I'm not so, not so fast, buddy. Um,
Yeah.
I think that those models, even though Keller Williams is one of the biggest brokerage by agents. I know there's still Realogy right there. They're a big heavy hitter. And then you have EXP. But to me, all these companies are money losers. I don't think they've ever been profitable, none of them. Maybe Keller Williams, but then we don't know because Keller Williams is a privately held company, so you don't know what the numbers are, right?
Yeah.
I think that the old real estate model is broken. I think that it's going to be disrupted. We would like, smart. We think we would be the disruptors. Of course, we're a small company, and the big guys is trying to do the same thing. But that's my 2 cents. I think that he is right. However,
But look at this, Elvin.
yeah, go ahead.
Keller Williams, who had a long-standing relationship with Dotloop, who does not, the Dotloop is also owned by Zillow.
Mhm.
So it ended the partnership with the company in 2020. So last year, I chose to use DocuSign instead.
So that he said he chooses to use DocuSign.
Yeah, instead of Dotloop. So they use Dotloop, which is owned by Zillow, but they ended the partnership last year in 2020.
Yeah, well, sorry to say this, Gary, but Zillow already got the data,
Yeah, because of the data collection.
Yeah, they already got all your clients' information. That's why they did it, right? Let's be real.
Yeah.
I don't care what they say. I think they were saying something about we're going to keep the data. Give me a break. You guys going to siphon off that data, and you're going to know all these people's clients and all these people's information. You're going to have all their contracts, and this is the stupidity. If you're an agent, I say this again, you're a fool if you're paying Zillow for leads. You're an idiot. And when they take over your business and put you out of business, you deserve what you get for being so stupid. Because why would you fund your own demise? Look, Gary Keller, he's woken up to, hey, these guys are a threat. Good for him, but I think it's a little too late. Look, we're not worried about the threat, but most agents fail at real estate, 89% failure rate, so, yeah. And the customer experience isn't the greatest, all the time, the problem with all these brokerages, right, is that their customer is the real estate agent. Their customer is not the end user. They may say it's the end user. No, the real estate brokerage you work for, listen to me carefully, right? If you work for EXP, if you work for Keller Williams, Century 21s, Sotheby's, it doesn't matter. The customer for the brokerage is the agent. The agent's customer is the end user. But for the brokerage itself, it's the agent. And unfortunately, because of the business model where basically, I'm going to say this, you can hate me for saying it, where the brokerage has to kiss the ass of the agent, right? This is why it's going to fail ultimately. Realogy is the biggest company, the biggest brokerage with Sotheby's, Century 21, all of these brokerages under it, and it's losing money. It's hemorrhaging money. How can you pay your top agents 90%, 90 cents on the dollar? When the average business, their typical profit that they have to make is around 15%. So you already at a deficit, right? So
yeah, 90% is so much.
Right,
yeah.
And that's what,
you cannot cover everything.
And then these other companies like Compass come into the game, and they put pressure on these legacy brands, right, to pay higher splits, right? EXP came in, I'll give you a huge split. Most agents run to them, even though most agents don't succeed. because, of course, to truly succeed, the brokerage would have to spend money on you. And if they spend money on you, then they can't give you the split. And they can't give you the split, you don't stick around. So it becomes a vicious cycle. So no wonder all these tech companies are coming in to eat your lunch, right? Because the system is doomed to fail. Now, I hate me for saying it, but I'm just telling you what's going to happen. You know, like if you just go back, look at the numbers, do the math, you know, the customer experience, look and see where people are going. People want everything on demand. They want it now. They want it perfect. They don't want problems. They want headaches. They want issues. They want to deal with your attitude and your as an agent. They don't want to deal with your issues, right? People now they order stuff online. They don't even want to make a phone call. Just click, push a button, get my food, grab it, close the door, the person, and goodbye. That's the mentality people have now. So when you're an agent, and I listen in to the talks, right? And agents are consoling themselves, and they're like, well, you know, provide good customer service. Like, really? Good.
No, I mean, in the end, just like be human. Like the three most important things is like know you, like you, and trust you, right?
But here's the problem, right? There's also ETC, effort, time, and cost. You can know a person, like a person, trust a person, but if they're selling something for $10 and I could buy the same thing for $2, I may our friendship gonna take a back seat to me saving $8. Especially if you don't get that to me right away. And that's what happened with Amazon, and that's what happened with all these other when Amazon came in and destroyed all these retailers, right?
Yeah.
You know, they gave it to you cheaper. They did what's called the loss leader method. And of course, after they run all the competition out of business, you notice the prices start creeping back up, right? So, look, that's what realtors got to do.
Yeah, it's like the low initial price strategy that you are using, right?
Yeah. Entry strategy coming low.
Just get into the market. Yeah. After that, you are like raising it gradually, the prices.
It is what it is. So what are the stories we got going on? We dealt with Keller Williams.
Okay, let's see what else happened.
Or we gotta move on. Let's talk about another country if you don't.
Okay. Do you want to say maybe some pictures of Texas? You mentioned the issues they had.
Well, no, it's brutal. I don't even want to do that. Well, let's pull up a picture of Ted Cruz, because that guy put Ted Cruz, Texas, or Google Ted Cruz, right? Cancun. Google that, see what comes up to me. So this guy, I mean, yesterday, wow, what a blunder! Like, come on now. Like, I mean, his people are going through the worst. Ted Cruz, right? And then put Ted Cruz text, put Cancun. Take CANCUN.
It's CAN.
Yeah, Cancun. Yeah, CUN.
I see. Okay, sorry. Okay, Cancun.
All right, let's show images. I think you see him at the airport. There he is. Look at him. Yeah, blow up that picture with him in front of, with the, look at him with the bag. Blow up the picture with him walking with the bag. The other one, the one with him, pulling the bag.
This one?
Pulling the bag, with the bag. Dragging the bag. So let me see if I can blow that up. So, yeah, this guy, look at this guy. He got a big Texas flag, and he's abandoning his people, right? And this is the clown they voted for. I mean, this clown wanted to overthrow the United States government. Look at this guy. Hey, Texas, you could do better, please. for the. Oh my goodness, when is he coming up for election again? Come on, get rid of that fool, right? If this don't tell you everything, you know, I mean, the capital now this. Come on, get him out of here. So let's talk about some international news. What's going on?
Okay.
What's going on in Serbia, Timmy?
Okay, so I will bring up some news from Serbia.
Let's see what's going on. Let's queue up Cyprus, Chris. I want to hear what's going on in Cyprus. Let's share this.
Yeah, so Macedonia, like Macedonia basically had the issues, like they didn't get like vaccines for COVID-19, and now Serbia will donate Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines to North Macedonia.
So how you guys doing over there in Serbia? You still on the lockdown or what's going on?
Not really, but for example, supermarkets are working until 8 p.m., right?
Right.
So, for example, you had a lot of supermarkets here in Serbia that is working like 24/7, but now it can work only until 8 p.m. And for example, the school is online at the university, so teaching is online, the classes are online. In the primary school, it depends on the place. Somewhere kids are going to the school, somewhere like going 1 week to the school, like traditional teaching, and 1 week is online. So it's like mixed.
Let me ask you a question about your healthcare system. Do you guys have full healthcare in Serbia? Like, do you have to pay for your healthcare, or do you have full? Are you covered by the government? How's your?
I mean, it depends. If you're working for some company, then the company is paying it for you, right?
Okay. And what if you're not working? How are you covered?
Then you need to pay everything.
Okay. How much roughly it costs a year for one person?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So yeah. So let's hop over now to Cyprus. Chris, what's going on in Cyprus? If you want to share your screen, share your screen there, Chris, and tell us what's going on around the world. You know.
Okay.
If I know well, you had the lockdown, right? And
Yeah.
I see that there will be less restrictions now. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I know you were complaining about being locked down for a minute now.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but they had like some interesting system, right? So they like needed to send a message. For example, if you want to go outside, you need to send a message. There is specific code. Can you tell more about that?
Yeah.
Chris?
Wait a minute. Can you see this screen, the new screen now? Am I sharing?
Yeah, your sharing is coming up. You just gotta just share it. Just click on your screen.
You see the news features, right?
It's just showing like us again. Click share. And click share at the bottom. Probably the bottom of your screen.
Your entire screen, I guess.
Yeah, click share. All right, let me pull up. Wow, okay.
Okay.
What happened there?
Yeah, I mean, we should be more relaxed with the measures next week.
Mm-hmm.
And what did you ask me, Timmy, about the system?
Yeah, like how it worked when you had the lockdown. So like you could go outside, for example, a few times or some specific period of time. You needed to send some message, receive a code. So actually, how that worked?
Yeah, we send a message, a text message.
Mm-hmm.
Twice. We are allowed twice a day.
Only twice a day?
Only twice a day. It may be, it's like maybe to go to the doctor or to go like shopping for the basic things. Or now we can do some small visit, not like gather in a house more than 4 people.
Do they have it under control though? Do they have the problem under control?
It's beginning to again escape control, but it's now it's under control. We are an island of about 1 million people.
Mm-hmm.
We had around, on the first wave, we had around 20, 30 cases a day. That was the peak. But on the second wave this year, we reached almost 1,000 a day. Now we're back down to 100. So
yeah, comparing the number of the population, that's too high.
yeah, and the good thing is that it's controllable in terms of hospitals and so on. No overcrowding and so on. Now it has caused. I think the COVID has caused this all these measures, all these companies closing, like restaurants, cafes, and so on, gatherings. A lot of, everyone has been affected. We all have been affected internationally. It has made people want to get out and protest. There were definitely some scandals, right, that are being examined at the moment, financial things. And so last week there was this protest, I think around 1,000 people at most. But the police just, you know how it is sometimes with protests.
Yeah.
There was some gestures, some things. The police was a bit too hard on them.
Right.
So that's another discussion. And tomorrow there's another 1 or 2 demonstrations.
Wow.
Definitely, I see this around Europe as well. I hear it's kind of similar. I think Spain yesterday, 2 days ago or something. Netherlands, I think. It's a strange time, and definitely, especially the economy and employment, it's not getting any better at the moment.
Do you have any elections coming up?
We've got parliamentary elections in May, so it's getting crazy. Like,
Well, hopefully they don't try to storm your capital.
no, hopefully not. But don't be. Not. I think the demonstrations will get worse.
Yeah. Oh well. So, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming out tonight. We learned a lot from across the world. Also, guys, if you are, let me just pull that screen back up. If you are, it's covering the. Let me see if I can take that down. Let me hide it. It's all good. I'll put it back up. But guys, if you're watching right now, go to the App Store, type in Smart Realty, download the app, and if you find a few issues, we have to do an update in a few weeks. So we'll be doing some updates that'll be really beneficial to allow people to share the app easier with each other and set up their own profiles in the app. So look for those updates coming up in a few weeks. And, I just want to say to everybody, have a good weekend. Timmy, thanks for spending time with us all the way from Serbia.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Chris.
Chris, thanks for spending time today, all the way from Cyprus, right? So we're going to call it a night. Let me just take us out, and I'll see you guys Monday. All right?
All right. Thank you very much. Enjoy the weekend and see you on Monday.
See you guys on Monday. All right, let's hit it.
Bye-bye.
Let me dissect you. Use bloods to keep all eyes on you. Now you pissed because one nigga fucked your bitch. Came out bragging. All right, guys, have a good night. Leaders, bring followers to their level. Yet you chose to cut a dirty deal with the devil. When you rose, chose to leave those in the mist. Now you pose with feds, keep eyewitness. Could have pulled your men out the abyss. Yet you chose to let niggas rot in the press. Was your bros, you don't want to drop to die. How dare you speak about the guns of your rhymes? Did the crime.